it lets you automate virtually any task.
Okay.
You understand? So, well, maybe I haven't practicalized it. That's why I don't even understand the terms, the meaning, and the definition.
Okay. So you explaining it alone means that you understand what Ansible is, and that's the most important thing,
Ha.
right? Is there any
Okay.
other person that can explain what Ansible is or what basically they understand about Ansible?
I do understand it in the way that what is its function, where it is used to like set up if you want to set up a VM, if you want to automate updates, anything so you could use Ansible to do.
Okay. Okay. So is there any other person that wants to explain what they understand about Ansible?
I think Caleb has something to tell us. Caleb.
Okay. So basically, Ansible is a configuration management tool, right? Everybody, what everybody
Yeah.
has said here is basically correct, right? And honestly, Ansible is not hard. That is the thing. Where you can say Ansible is a little bit difficult is when you are using it as an infrastructure as code tool, right? But using it as a configuration management tool, it is not hard. Are you getting me? Number one thing you should always know about Ansible is a space sensitive kind of language, right? So it's a two space sensitive kind of language, right? You don't just um, write anywhere. You have to follow a particular pattern, right? And like I've always said before, the most important thing about learning any cloud tool is not to understand every single command. Are you getting what I'm saying? That's not the most important key. The most important thing is to know what is possible and what is not possible. Okay, let's start off like this. Is it possible for you to create a user using Ansible?
It's possible.
A user on what?
A user using Ansible.
I think it's possible.
Okay, is there any other person with any other answer?
Yes,
Hello, sir.
yes, it's virtually possible to
Okay.
do almost as I say yes, it's possible to create user using Ansible, and it can also be used for so many automation. It's
Okay.
even take less time to run application on Ansible and it's an automation program, an open source automation program.
Yeah. And basically you
Hello, sir.
can, yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
But I think I spent quite some time on the code cloud today. Went back to the Ansible again and to see. Yeah, I'm actually catching up some things, but I don't think you can create. Can you really create a user? Because it's like you are imputing users you've already created. They are already in existence. So I don't know.
Yeah, you can basically use Ansible to create a new user. So Ansible can basically do anything
Okay.
that you can do manually on a Linux machine, right? And the most important use case of Ansible is basically for automation and configuration among like thousands of servers. That's the most important use case, right? That was also the same use case for Linux, for bash scripting rather. But bash scripting is not flexible like Ansible, right? If you were using bash scripting to edit, automate, and do certain things, first off, you have to first copy the bash scripts to every single server, right? Then you now have to run it on every single server, right? And after doing that, you also have to check one or two things or one or two prompts that will ask you to carry out certain tasks or whatever. But with Ansible, everything is just automatically simple, right? It is automatically simple. You can use it on any kind of virtual machine, right? Be it CentOS, Ubuntu, Debian, Red Hat, and all those kind of virtual machines. So the Ansible is also a very, very good tool, like I said before, when it comes to automation. So the most important thing is to understand that Ansible is basically like there are basically like four, is it four or three very important files you must have before you can say you are basically doing Ansible, or before you can say you are basically using Ansible. So what are the most important files that you must have before your Ansible can basically start working?
Server or multiple server.
Files, files, files.
I don't understand what you mean by files.
When I say files, I mean that when you before you run Ansible in a particular directory, what are the files that have to be in that directory before Ansible can detect that that directory is a directory where Ansible should run?
I think the inventory, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah, the
It must
CFG.
have
okay.
Yeah, YAML
it
file.
must have Python.
Not really. You don't really
Python.
need to have Python because immediately you install Ansible, Python comes with it.
YAML
Or
file.
Python's committed.
YAML file, okay. You need to have the playbook rather.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Okay, is there any other file that needs to be present before Ansible can work?
Vagrant.
What of CFG?
Yeah, they've mentioned the CFG file, inventory,
Oh,
CFG, the playbook.
mm.
Yeah.
I think you need a folder that contains your files
Yeah,
in case you want
exactly.
to call.
Everything needs to be in a particular folder because you can't just open any folder to put in Ansible files. You need to create your own personal folder, and your CFG file, your inventory file, your YAML file, and basically, what is the inventory file? What does it do?
It house the IP address.
Okay,
Yeah.
is there any other thing the inventory file does? Emmanuel, have you gotten to this part of Ansible? Yeah. Hello, Emmanuel. Have you gotten to this part of Ansible?
No, sir.
So you haven't gotten to the file section yet, or you have not like
Yes,
done
sir.
a full hands-on labs that will help you with understanding Ansible well.
Honestly.
Okay? So it's basically tasks. Now projects will give you guys better understanding of what it is you are doing. So the first thing, like I said before, that you should always do is just have an understanding of what you are doing, right? Have an understanding of
Yeah.
Ansible. Now, we all know that Ansible is a configuration management tool, and we know that if we want to take out any task using Ansible, we can do it. Are you getting what I'm saying? We can create a project with
Yes.
Ansible. We can install packages with Ansible. We can create a user using Ansible. We can even generate an SSH key using Ansible. Are you getting me? So now we know that that is possible. Anything is possible when it comes to Ansible. Running certain tasks, whatever, automation of this, it's possible using Ansible. That's the number one thing. So now the second thing, like I said, you should not focus your mind on all the whole modules of Ansible for now. You shouldn't, because you cannot know everything. I get me. There are over thousands of modules in Ansible. You cannot know everything. The second thing now you should focus your mind on is working on tasks. That's why I said hands-on lab also would help you. You need to work on tasks, because when you work on tasks, you get little understanding of certain modules or important, some kind of important modules that you basically remember. Are you getting what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
those are the two most important things: practicing and knowing. Right? It's not about cramming the whole what's it called, cramming the whole command in your head. So let's go back to Ansible again. So what is the CFG file used for?
CFG file.
The CFG file is where you will put the inventory and the private key file.
Okay, but that's basically not the main use of it. What is the main use of the CFG file? What is even the full
Is
meaning of CFG
is the
file?
configuration.
Okay,
It stores the configuration.
okay. So what you are saying now is that if I want to make Ansible act in a certain way, I can basically use the CFG file to make that changes.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's basically what the CFG file is for. Now, I'm not asking you, okay, what is inside the CFG file? I'm asking you, what is the main purpose of it? Forget what is inside. Are you getting what I'm saying? What is the main purpose of it?
Mm.
Once you understand the main purpose of it, then you can now know what is supposed to be inside. Like, for instance, if you want to make Ansible act,
Hello, boss.
yeah,
Hello, sir.
yeah,
Uh, uh, just like you give us the tasks in Bash script, it actually helps me a lot because I'm doing a catalog of the entire 27 of them. I'm documenting them, and it has actually helped me a lot. I don't know
yeah,
if you're going to give us some tasks to
yeah,
actually
definitely,
run like prototypes so that
definitely.
okay,
The
okay.
tax are inside. Yeah, the tax are inside.
Yes, I'm actually on the 13th one now in the Bash script. I'm working on
That's
each and
very
every
good.
one of them. Yes,
That's
yes.
very good because it will give
Making
you
them
a
to
better
actually
understanding
run,
of.
trying them on VS. Yes.
That's very very good. So this is the main point of everything. Is no, you need to live and breathe what you are learning. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because just watching videos on it won't give you the understanding. You need to live and breathe it. You need to work on tasks. You need to, because that's where the everything is. So going back to Ansible now, like I said, in the .cfg file, now you know that it is for configuration. So if I want to make Ansible act in a funny way, I know where I'm supposed to go to. I know where I'm supposed to make changes to. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now it does not matter the command you want to ask. Are you getting me? What matters now is that I know where it is supposed to be. So if you are going to Google to search for, okay, maybe you want Ansible to use a particular user to run the whole playbook. Are you getting what I'm saying? You go to Google, right? After you're in Google, you can now type in, okay, how do I how do I use the ansible.cfg, or how do I use the ansible.cfg file, or how do I configure the ansible.cfg file to use a particular user to run all my playbook. Now you now know what you're looking for because you now understand what the CFG file is for. Because what I've seen most people doing is they just watch videos or follow guides, but they don't really understand what all these things are for. And lastly, the playbook. What is the playbook for? What is the main purpose of the playbook?
For executing and running the commands.
Okay,
Where you create, there's where you put all the commands and what you want to be done.
okay. There's any
The
other
playbook contains the YAML file. It contains the YAML file.
okay. Does any other person have any other definition of the playbook in their own words?
Playbook is the language in which Ansible orchestrate and configure deploying system.
Mm, okay. Is there any other person? Okay. So the playbook is a file. It is a YAML file. And what's basically the full meaning of YAML?
Yet another markup language.
Okay, so it's a YAML file. Yet another markup language. It's a YAML file. That's what the playbook is written in.
Yeah, what do you say it means, please?
You saw what?
What do you say it means?
Yet another markup language.
Okay.
So it's a YAML file, and that is the format in which Ansible is written in. Are you getting what I'm saying? And in this playbook is where you have all your plays. Every single play you want to write about, it is here you're supposed to stick it. Are you getting what I'm saying? Okay. Um, Let me see if I can look for an example. Okay, so you guys haven't gotten to rows, right? In Ansible.
We are no
No,
more doing
we
Ansible.
we are doing Terraform.
We are
I
on
think,
Terraform now.
Oh, you guys are on Terraform.
yeah.
Are you serious?
I don't know
Yes.
if they're using Ansible in this year, but we know in this semester, I know we're using Terraform.
I don't think we have Ansible in this semester.
But you people will still come back to it. Oh.
Yeah, but I think
we are
Hello,
still going
sir.
to use
Hello, sir.
we are still
Yeah.
going to use Ansible this semester.
I think the reason why you remember you took us back to actually start with Linux
Yeah.
to come to Bash script and then moving to Ansible because we just brushed on some of them and we passed. And you
Yeah.
wanted us to actually learn the basics. But actually, in
Yeah,
this semester, I
we
don't know
don't
whether
know
we are
Ansible
coming
in that
back.
way.
Yeah, I don't know whether we are coming back to Ansible again within this semester, but right now we are actually on Terraform.
Okay.
Yeah,
Based
on
on
the in
teaching,
the third
right? Based on teaching, you guys are
Yes.
done with Ansible. But in certain tasks and exams, it will definitely always come back. I get what I'm saying. So did they teach you guys
Aha.
roles in Ansible?
No, they did
Yeah,
not.
while we were doing Ansible,
Rules.
yeah, they taught rules.
Okay.
Yes, Conrad touched almost everything in Ansible, but we don't really understand it. At least he talked about role as well.
Okay, so
You
now
people
let's
prayed.
look at this example, right? Now we know that every Ansible file always starts with these three dots, I mean these three dashes, right? Why? Because it shows or it tells
Yeah.
YAML that this is an Ansible file or something like that, right? But just know that it basically starts with three dashes before you start writing anything. Then you need to define a name. This is where well, you can put whatever you want here. I get what I'm saying. This is basically the name of this particular play you're running or the particular task you're running. This is the name. Then when it comes to host, what does this mean? When it comes to host, what does this mean? How does this work? This host line, what does it mean?
The local remote machine.
Okay. Is there another person? What does this host mean? Or how does it work? What is it targeting specifically? Okay, so since there's
You
Okay, sir.
okay? Hello, sir.
oh,
Is it local host or host? Just host.
yeah, this is an Ansible
Host.
playbook. It's just host that is here. It's not local host. Okay, so
Okay, is targeting the is it the IP address?
we talked about the inventory file, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we talked about the inventory file, and when we talked about the inventory file, this is basically what we are, let's say, regarding, or this is what is connecting the inventory file to the playbook, right? So whatever we put here, or whatever inventory file we put here, is basically going. All this is going to basically run on it. I get what I'm saying. So hope you guys know it is possible to create groups in the inventory file, groups and parent-child groups also.
Yep.
Okay, so this is basically
Yes.
targeting it by default. If you don't group your what's it called, your IP addresses, right? You can just basically change this and type in all here instead of test servers. But this test servers is basically like a group. It's basically like a group, and that is why they are targeting only test servers. Okay, let me see. So basically, this is what this is for, right? It's just targeting a particular, is it a particular inventory or a particular set of or group of IP addresses, right? And this become yes. A lot of people has always asked, what is this become yes for, or what does it do? So can anybody explain, maybe from what you guys already know, what become yes means?
It says it gives the pseudo privilege.
Okay, so if it is become true, what does that one mean?
Yes, that it should give the pseudo privilege to the server.
Okay, okay. So with that said, also you can also see the spacing or the lining up of each and every of these lines, right? You can see that from here downward, although there are some errors here in this Ansible playbook. If you run this like this, you will get an error. So let me see if I can show you. Okay, okay. So this is an example. This is an example, right? Like I said, these three dots, and now we're also targeting the host, right? We're targeting the host, and we're targeting it to all. We're targeting it to all. So if we come back here, if we come back into this inventory file here, this is an inventory file. If we come back into this inventory file here and we open this inventory file, we can basically see all the IP addresses that are present here. These are all the IP addresses that are here. So if we wanted to make a change to this, are you getting what I'm saying? If we wanted to make a change to this and wanted to group this into like a particular kind of what's it called? Into groups. Are you getting what I'm saying? What we can basically do here is come down here, then at the top here we can just put a bracket and write the name of the group we want to give it. Let's say we want to give it a group of 30, right? And we close this, right? So now this is basically a group. And I basically say, let me separate this from this, right? And this other one, I want to basically call it web servers, right? And the last one, I want to call it database. Now, these are three sets of groups. These are three sets of group. The first group is the group 30, right, which contains these two IP addresses. The second group is the web servers, right, which contains these three IP addresses. And the last group is the database, which contains these two IP addresses. Are you getting what I'm saying? So now, if I decide to come back here, if I decide to come back to this YAML file, which is this size.yaml, okay? If I decide to come back here and I also decide to say, okay, let me make let me make a change to this. I get what I'm saying, because now I can decide to target every IP address that is here in this inventory file. I get what I'm saying, or I can just decide to say, let me just target the 30 group. I can also do the same thing here. Come here, and I can make click on changes, right? And here where it says hosts, I can basically just write 30. I get what I'm saying, and every single play that is here is only going to run on these two servers. I get what I'm saying, with these two IP addresses. It's only going to run on these two servers. It's not going to run on any other server down here. Are you getting what I'm saying? And also, Like I said, the become, you have to set it to yes, either yes or true, right? And also you have to impute your task. And like I was saying before, everything is aligned. If you look at all this, everything is aligned. While writing this first part, you will notice that this dash is close to the end. It's close to the end, and this is the only dash that is here. Then we leave a space, which is this, and we write our host, then the host that we're targeting, which is steady. Then under we write our become, and as you can see, it is on the same line. These three, the H, B, and T, they are all on the same line. Now, when it now comes to writing your play, after you have written these tags, when it comes to writing your play, the next thing you need to focus on now is to make sure that this dash is under your T of the task. I don't know, are you guys getting me?
Yeah.
So that's one thing you need to know, that this dash is under the T of this task. It's not that you just write it anyhow. Are you getting what I'm saying? You have to follow a particular pattern. It's under the T of this task, and you leave a space. Are you getting what I'm saying? Then you now write your name of this task, and you know that every other thing is under. There are some, will I say, there are some modules, right, that you have to write in a certain way. Like for instance, this one that is updating the repository, you can see that the name and the apps repository, they are both on the same line, but when it comes to the repo, it basically goes under. And how does this work? How do you know the amount of space to leave? You need to basically leave two spaces rather. That is how you leave your spaces. Two spaces. So imagine you write your name, your app, right? And you want to write your name. So this is the name. You basically just leave two spaces. That means the N is now under the T. That is basically how it works. I don't know if you guys are understanding what I'm saying. I don't know.
Please, I don't know. Whose background has that noise, please? The dog. Okay. 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 Please, can you can repeat? So I think I lost my way.
Okay, so like I said, everything is this two spacing kind of thing in Ansible.
Okay.
Okay, let me see if
Okay.
I can see a better way to explain this.
Mentor, is it best to use uh, Nano or
Vim.
VS Code?
Nano or VS Code.
One is better to use.
Out of which and which? Now is it Nano or VS Code that you said?
Nano or VS Code? Yes, yes.
Yeah, VS Code definitely. Okay, so like I said, this is our Ansible.yaml file now. So let me try to zoom in. Okay, so this is our Ansible.yaml file now. Like I said, when you're writing an Ansible playbook, there are always three dots here, which shows the beginning of the file. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so after writing those three dots, the next thing you want to do, you see the space in the left after these three dots. One, two,
Yes.
right? I'm on line three now. And now on line three, what do I want to do? I want to create another dash here that will basically specify the tags I want to run, right? So I'll basically type in host. This is the first thing. The next thing I'll basically be writing next is, and also you see, when I pressed enter, it took me back to where this dash was. I'm not
Yeah.
supposed to write anything there. Everything needs to be on the same line, like I said. So I'll leave another space. And also I'll write become,
Become
which is what? True.
Yes. Yeah.
And what is basically next? The next thing is the tasks. So this is where you now state every single task that you basically have. Are you getting what I'm saying? This is where you state every single task. And you see, automatically, it knows that when you click enter, it takes you to the beginning of this T. So you are still on the same line as the T. And now you now want to start writing your task under here because here it says tasks, right? And everything under here needs to be tasks. So next thing we're going to do now is we're going to use a dash to indicate that this is a new task. And what is this task going to be? We're going to call it name, right? Let's say the task is to maybe update a particular or to update the system, right? So we can basically write the name. This can be any name you want. Are you getting what I'm saying? Also, if you choose and you want to write the name at the beginning of this your task, you can also put name here and you can call it whatever you want, whatever the task is doing, right? Updating an Ubuntu machine. And here, what the name we want to use is updating Ubuntu machine, right? And after this name, the next thing you know how to do, because normally when you are updating an Ubuntu machine, what do?
Water,
Sudo
water.
What?
apt update. This is the command we use, right? When we're updating in Ubuntu.
Dash Y.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's dash y, but this is just the basic command we use, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So now, how this works is this: since this is the name, we're updating it. I get what I'm saying. This is the name, and now we now want to write what the module is. The module here is apt. This is the apt here. So we're going to write apt. Are you getting what I'm saying? Then after writing apt, the next thing we're also going to be writing is the name of the package or whatever it is we want to do. Are you getting what I'm saying? So after writing this, we can leave a space and write name. Then we can now write
Ubuntu
update
Focal.
underscore cache. Are you getting what I'm saying? We can now write in update cache because now we
Yeah.
are updating it. And if you see the pattern here, you can see that it's basically similar because the first thing
Yeah.
you are doing here is the apt. Also here apt, and the sudo comes from this become true. Are you getting me? And
Yeah.
lastly,
Mental excuse.
okay,
Yeah. Um. The first name says updating an Ubuntu machine. The second one, the same thing. That means two tasks.
okay.
Does that mean two tasks?
What this basically means is that this is the play you're running. This first one,
Yes.
right, that says host is the play you're
Okay.
running. This is the task under this particular play. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Okay.
you can basically name use whatever you want for the name. It's up to you. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
So this
Okay.
is this. We have the name. We call it
Yes.
Ubuntu, updating Ubuntu machine. The
Machine.
apt
Yeah.
is also here. It's a module, right? So this is it. And also the
Okay.
name of the whatever it is we're doing is update cache, right? So we're updating the machine basically.
Sorry. Sorry. This app. This app.
Yeah.
What's the work of that app?
What's the work of apt when you use it to install or update the particular machine while we are using normal what's called
It
Linux.
shows that it's an Ubuntu machine.
Okay.
Yeah, it shows you that it's an Ubuntu machine.
Okay.
Yum is for Send OS. Mm.
Okay, I'm looking
All right.
for another example here that can basically explain it again.
like installing Apache.
Okay, installing Apache 2 is also another one that can work, right? So basically what we can do is this. To install Apache, like I said, it's still on the same line. Are you getting me? It's still on the same line. So you can't just say you want to start from here and do name. No, it's not going to work that way. So even if you are starting from here, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to count four lines, four spaces. One, two, three, four. Okay, so if you're starting from this place, you want to count two spaces, sorry, right? Two spaces, one, two. And when you count two spaces, this is where you put your dash. And as you can see, everything is still on the same line. It's still targeting this T. Everything is still under this T. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to now write the name here. And what is the name of what we're doing? Like I said, if you want to install Apache 2, sudo apt install Apache 2. Right? This is the command that we normally use to install Apache on a normal Linux machine. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now the
Mm.
name here we want to type in is installing Apache, right? Like I said, it has to be on the same line. So we leave another word, two spaces, one, two. Now it's still on the same line as this N. So what we need to type here is apt. Are you getting what I'm saying? We're typing in apt. And what is the name of the application that we want to install? That's where we come down and type in name. Are you getting what I'm saying? We come down and type in name, and we can basically decide to type in the name like this, Apache 2, if we're just downloading or installing one kind of Apache. Or we can also do it like a list, 1, 2, dash Apache 2. Either way works. Are you getting what I'm saying? So either way works. I'm not expecting everybody here to basically understand the full idea of Ansible. Are you getting what I'm saying? But the most important thing is that you would know the spacing of exactly what you are
Uh,
supposed to do. Are you getting me?
Mentor, we can as well state the state of the Apache 2, like
Yeah.
latest of Apache 2.
So now you see when you want to state the state, you don't come under this name and do state here. Are you getting what I'm saying? State is basically on its own. Are you getting me? This is a module, and this is like a feature under this module. That is why it is under it like this. Are you getting me? So the state is not a feature under the what's it called, under the module of apt. Are you getting me? So it will have to be at the end state. And what is the state you want to give it? The state, it can be latest, right? Or you can state a particular version there. Are you getting what I'm saying? So all these things are very, 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 very simple.
Excuse me, Mentor. Hello.
Yeah.
While I was using Nano to use Ansible to install Apache 2,
Okay.
my state was immediately after the name, and it works as well.
It works
But
that
I
way.
didn't, but I didn't put the Apache under the name. I put it in front of the name.
Okay, something like this.
Yes, and the S is under the yes,
And it works like
yes,
this.
yes.
Well, if it works for you, then that's also you can also try it that way, right? But normal standard is basically have to be under this act. Okay, maybe has to be in a minute too.
All right.
Okay, so like I said, this is very simple. Are you getting me? You don't need to even understand. It's not a must really, because one thing
Yeah,
is
we
this.
have only 10 minutes for
Yeah, yeah.
this link.
I know. One thing I'll tell you is
Yeah.
you don't need to
Okay.
really understand the whole modules and how everything work. The one thing I want you to just understand is the spacing. Are you getting what I'm saying? It's very, very important. Because if you come to Google here and you decide to say, okay, you want to install Apache, okay, how do I install Apache 2 on Ansible? And you are seeing, you see basically a lot of what's it called? A lot of articles that will basically show you how to install Apache 2 using Ansible. So, like I said, everything is on the internet. They even showed you how to even install Ansible self. So, okay, as you can see here, they are showing you basically everything on how to install Ansible. Ansible playbook to install and set up Apache, right, on Ubuntu. Are you getting what I'm saying? And this is their task. This is your task. Install latest version of Apache. They are installing it, they are updating the cache also, and they are also changing the states to latest. Are you getting what I'm saying? And all this that you're saying this HTTP, that's where variables also come into. Variables. You can state a variable like this, right? In an Ansible, but it's all this is also very advanced. I'll basically want you guys to just understand the normal Ansible before you start moving into the advanced parts, which is variables, Ansible Galaxy, rows, and the rest. I get what I'm saying. Just understand this Ansible until you are very comfortable with this Ansible. You can now start moving into the advanced version. I get what I'm saying. So basically, you can see copy your index file. This is they are basically trying to deploy a what's it called? They are basically trying to deploy a website using Ansible. I get what I'm saying. And they are also installing Apache too. So Apache is going to be like the web server for the website. So that's basically what they are doing here. So you can also see a lot of guides here, right? Like for instance, this one, this also shows you how to install Ansible too. Open the ansible.yaml file for editing, dash 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 starts every Ansible file, then the host. You can decide to create a group for Apache. I get what I'm saying. And also sudo yes. You can either use is it sudo yes or become yes. You can use any one, right? But this sudo yes is not something I've tried before. You can try it, it can work for you. I get what I'm saying. So tags also. You can state your task, install Apache, apt. All these things are just very, very simple. But the most important thing that really matter, I keep repeating this thing, is understanding what Ansible is and how it works. Are you getting what I'm saying? That's basically the most important thing that matters. Because there are going to be tasks also that's going to drop that will basically help you practice what you already know. Are you getting what I'm saying? There are going to be tasks that will help you practice what you already know. So the most important thing is to first know it before you can basically start practicing. So I don't know. Does anybody have any questions so far?
So basically, from the spacing and everything. So if you don't space it right, it won't work.
Definitely, you will get an error, a syntax error or something like that. You will get an error.
Uh, or more. But is there an article that can show us? We can go through that can show us how to space. You know, guide us
Okay, have you
how
gone
to
through
space them.
the Code Cloud Ansible course or eCloud Group?
Yes, like I told you, I started it, but I haven't gone far.
Yeah, so you can go through. Was Adedeji, please can the YouTube video that I sent to you, can you drop it on the group so that every other person can have access to it?
Okay, I will. I will.
That YouTube video
All
is
right.
is a very understanding YouTube video. That's basically what the only video I needed to watch to understand Ansible. I get what I'm saying. It gives
Okay.
you that
Yes,
very
sir.
basic understanding of everything. So
Yes, it's really helping a lot. The guy is even using two different. He's using
exactly,
Ubuntu and CentOS 7
yeah,
together. He's using both in one Ansible playbook.
yeah. So it's very understanding, and I'll advise everybody to watch that first, right? Before you start going into code
Is it the
cloud.
Linux TV guy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is it the Linux TV guy?
yeah. It's the one. It's the one.
Yes, it's the one.
Please just drop the link to the video.
Okay, drop the link again. I used to have it, but maybe just help me drop it again. Sorry.
Yeah. So
Okay, I will.
and another thing I've noticed is this:
Okay.
A Cloud Guru's hands-on lab or their teaching is way better than Code Cloud because number one, they know how to explain things better. I get what I'm saying, and also they their classes and their teaching is not as boring as Code Cloud. So I don't know, you guys can also check it out, right? Ansible on Code Cloud to get a better understanding of it. Because honestly, it is not hard and you don't need to understand every module. You just need to understand exactly what the module is. So let me see if I can. How many minutes is here? So 3 minutes. Let me see if I can just explain and show you guys what the module is. An example of modules because this is not possible for you to know what the modules in Ansible. But for example, now, what is an example of a module? What is an example of a module? This app is a module. I get what I'm saying. This is a module. This app.
Okay, by definition is that they are unit of work that Ansible ships out to remote hosts.
Exactly. Right. So
Yeah.
let me see. This service also, it's also a module. Are you getting what I'm saying? It is also a module. So these are examples of modules that are out there. The copy module too is also present. I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Okay.
Um, Also this file too is also a module, right? Is a module also. You can go to the Ansible documentation and read more about all these modules and what they are used for and what they can do. For instance, this file you can use it to change the what's it called, the mode of a file. I get what I'm saying. You can use it to change the mode. You can use it to change the owner of a file. So these are also very important. And also they also have the Git module too. You can also use it to copy a repository, right, into a particular destination. There's also, like I said, there's also the copy module. You can also use it to copy a particular file. These are the two most important lists in that module. The source, where is the file currently, and where is the file going to, right? So the file needs to be in the same directory as your Ansible playbook. So this is the file .env, and if you check here, you should be able to see a .env file here, which is this, right? And we want to copy this .env file. This is the destination into the slash var slash www slash html slash on the host. Are you getting what I'm saying? We're copying it to the host. So there are different kind of so basically there are different kind of what's it called, of modules, right? Now look at this module, the file module, right? Like it's also used to change permission 7005 or 000775. I get what I'm saying. And also we're changing the group. We're changing it to group to www-data, and the owner is used as the user James. So all these things, they are all modules. You can go to Ansible, you can go to Ansible documentation and read all these modules well. Are you getting what I'm saying? You can go to Ansible documentation and read all these modules well because it's very, very, very important. So with that said, the what's it called? The class has basically ended. This is going to be the end of this class. And what I will advise you is this: is to basically focus your whole time on understanding Ansible rather than cramming all the modules and cramming all the whole plays. Are you getting what I'm saying? Understanding Ansible, then once you understand it and you keep practicing on tasks and different things, you will definitely get all this knowledge. Are you getting what I'm saying? You will definitely get all this knowledge. That is how it works. It's not just that you from the what's it called? From you learning, you want to know all this. It's not something that's that possible. Like I said, there are going to be tasks that are going to be dropping based on Ansible so that you can work on them to give you a better understanding. So with that said, if you have any other question, please send it to the group and tag me. Right? With that said, this is going to be the end of this class. So see you guys again on Thursday, right? Yeah.